Hi, everyone. Hey, Pat. So last week's episode really was a bang bang, huh? Look, I think it's fair to say that YouTube's success has really changed me. The comment section has hammered my heart to such a pulp that when an episode does well, I'm like, oh, this is probably my own friends sending it to each other, being like, cringe.
Yeah, you want to see the comments in the DMs of other people about the episode.
That's what I need. Like, it's like too good to be true or something, or I just assume people hate watching it instead of actually watching it. Like, I have just been so raked over the coals. I feel like that even when something good happens, I'm like, oh no, this is all people downloading it so that they can like write a hit piece. Or David Harbour's lawyers are watching it to come for me. Honestly, I wish them would. All right. I do think, though, from what I understand, the feedback from the last episode is that people just really resonated with me finally figuring out the name of the guy who bullies you by being the funnest person alive, the guy who pretends to be the nicest person on earth, even though they're deeply sadistic. Women do it too, but you know, I'm glad because that episode was very risky. It was like, oh, I'm really just going to talk about this the entire time. But I'm glad that y'all found some relief in my OCD and tenacity when it comes to being able to pinpoint the name of the thing that exonerates you from having to explain yourself and prove to people that you're not the crazy one. You're welcome. It is such a relief. Honestly, I think that that's what Real Housewives does for people. Like, they watch it and they're like, Teresa, like, that's my aunt. Like, that's her. Like, it makes people visible that everyone has, like, in their family in some way, but no one would ever believe your side of the story because it's like, oh, well, you're making this other person sound too crazy. And then you see Housewives and you're like, see, that's it. Cindy, that's my mom. That's what happens. It's like you see right in front of you the person who's like, what's that supposed to mean? Even though you said something super clearly, you're like, what do you mean what's supposed to? It means what it just meant. It doesn't, like, I never said that. You're like, no, there's a video of you saying that. That's what you said. And she's like, no, like, that's not what I meant. You don't get to change what things mean. You don't get to, like, change what vocabulary has meant forever just because you're wrong, right? So that's what it does. It's like, have you seen the Housewives of Utah? That's my boyfriend's mom. That's all right. Everyone's like, what? Like, shortcuts. We love shortcuts, okay? Oh, anyway. Oh gosh. Or the person who's like, I was joking. That was a joke. I was joking. Someone says the meanest thing you've ever heard. I'm like, I was joking. Like, you don't get to, no, you don't get to be rude. And if someone holds you accountable, all of a sudden you're just Dave Chappelle. Like, no one gets to just be a comedian as soon as they're losing an argument. You know, comedians are barely comedians. Okay. Very few comedians can even tell a joke well. Like, you don't get to just say you were doing something that is an actual job, right? If it's not a job you've never been hired to do, you don't get to be it, even in your spare time. Like, I don't get to punch someone in the face and be like, oh no, I was doing surgery. That was just surgery. I was doing surgery on your face to help your eye bags because one was swollen and like, you don't get to push someone and be like, what? I was giving you a massage. That was massage therapy. Why aren't you grateful? Okay. I was doing chiropractor work on you. Dude, like, you don't get to just all of a sudden be doing someone else's job, right? That said, I do think anyone can be a chiropractor, actually. I think anyone can do it at any time. Isn't that, where do we land on chiropractors, Pat? Are they real? It's like astrology for the body, right?
I mean, I know a few people that they say that they go to the chiropractor and they go regularly or whatever. And then I hear people say never go to a chiropractor because they could absolutely give you nerve damage.
I did go to a chiropractor for a while and it did work, but the placebo effect is an effect. That's like 60. Mm-hmm. It's like the most effective treatment on the market, frankly. I think it's like 60% effective, which is higher than any other medicine. So
I mean, how did you get that stat?
It's like, how did I get that stat? From Faxts, FAXTS.net, Pat. Okay. Where do you think I'm sorry. I am friends with Andrew Huberman. We texted today. So I would back off right now. How dare you? Whatever. You take, again, the study on placebo. I mean, that's the most, I mean, of all the... of, of all the sham studies, I do feel like the snake oil works better than the real stuff is probably one of the more flawed.
Yeah. And the idea of studying the placebo effect is hilarious.
Yeah, no, it's the snake oil salesman being like, no, 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 no. I know it didn't work. We knew it didn't work this whole time. We're doing it because if they think it works, it works. And then we're not going to poison them unnecessarily. It's like, there's just, I don't know. Okay, sorry. Sorry. If the placebo effect is effective, let's just say chiropractic medicine works. It's great. So does acupuncture. So does scream therapy and intuitive eating. Sure. Why is that in my feed? I got this thing. Someone's intuitive eating, someone famous. I'm like, what is intuitive eat? Like, intuitive. If I were to eat intuitively, I would truly eat every individually wrapped caramel that's in the little box at Starbucks without even taking off the wrappers. So let's not, don't pretend like we have any connection to our intuition whatsoever, homie. Like what? I have many times like come very close to grabbing a popsicle out of my son's hand because it was melting and he was wasting it. And I was like, this is my chance to eat a third popsicle. I'm going to do it so it doesn't get on the carpet and I'll have a reason. And the fact that I love him is stopping me from snatching it truly out of his hand, like quite violently. Anyway, Pat, how's your November shaping up?
It's going quite well.
Great. Well,
this whole remote shooting has been fun.
Oh, I'm bad. That sounded like super sarcastic. Here's the thing. I know I'm all over the place, but I have something to blame. Don't panic. I'm not even going to blame myself this time, which is my favorite thing to do. Because accountability is my kink. I feel like every year you get older, you find a new thing that annoys you, but an old thing stops annoying you. I just don't think you're an adult until you firmly believe that Thanksgiving and Christmas are way too close together. As a kid, you're like, woo, like from turkey to ham, let's go. Like, bye-bye skeletons, hello advent calendar, I ate for lunch December 6th. Like, you're like so psyched because you're like riding this just like roller coaster like of adrenaline and like ham, you know? So at this point, it costs $800 to even see your family members for a holiday for 3 days. So by the time you get there, you're just like, you're done. You're like, oh, really? You're going to say that after I spent $800 to see you a week later? That's not what you said last week. It's like when you go on a vacation with a guy or something, the hotel room's expensive. You're like, I was in love with you right before we checked into this hotel. And now everything you do, it makes me homicidal. And I think it's just because the room's $450. Like, oh, you need water? Like, what do you, okay. So you're into guys? Like, it's everything is annoying that they do. So by the time you go home for Christmas, you're just like, oh, you want me to pass the salt? Really? Okay, well, after what I just paid for to come visit you, I should be treated like I'm in a 5-star hotel is what I should be. And how about you get down on your knees and pass me the salt on a pillow? And then how about you lay down naked on the table and cover your body in sushi and I will eat off you while you try not to choke on that apple in your mouth. Aunt Pat. Anyway, I don't want to be negative. Good news. We've had some good news. Posting the engagement actually went well. It was weird. It was like, I don't know. As soon as I posted it, I was like, I was holding my breath. I truly, as if I was about to go toward the Titanic on the Sequest. I was like, how is this good? I was stunned. People were happy for me. It was very heartwarming. But of course, I was like, what's the Damocles sword here? Like, is everyone just Scientologist now? Like, are these bots? Like, it's just it's a lot of good feedback can be as scary as a lot of bad feedback because it's just like, oh no, is this a prank? Am I about to be Carrie at the end of the movie? Like, it's just setting up for some, I don't know. It always comes with a cost, I feel like, but there were no comments about blood diamonds or me being a I'm so excited to see, like, now that I'm a mom with a fiance, what will people call me when they can't call me a I truly can't wait to see what you guys come up with. What you're going to call a serial monogamist who frankly stays in relationships way longer than she should, not to go back out there and sleep with a new person, because I truly cannot enjoy intimacy at all unless we've already vowed to be monogamous. So if you think that's me being I'm very curious how this is going to go. But I do think there's something kind of like, I'm trying to think, there was like a reverence for it, because now that half of all marriages end, whatever these statistics are, and less people are getting married, there's something like, whoa, like, okay. There's like you're a soldier going off to war. They're like, good luck. I wouldn't do it, but that's what it is. Like, that's kind of because now that nobody believes in marriage, I'm into it. There's something punk rock about it now, because I did a whole TV show, that was about a girl that was in love with someone and living with a guy, but was too afraid to get married because of all the divorces she's seen, based on Yours Truly. And now that's when everyone was getting married, just constantly. And that was like their main goal in life. I just thought it was weird that a woman's main goal in life was to like have a $100,000 party pretending she's a virgin in a white dress. Like, it just seemed odd. And all her friends have to pay money and like fly to Pensacola. Like, it just feels like a rigmarole. And I just thought, like, if these marriages are ending, it's because they had a wedding. Like, starting off your marriage being 50 grand in the hole, like, can't be a good way to like get this thing afloat, right? So I was always weird about it. But now that no one wants to get married and everyone's like poly, I'm like, let's go. There's something just, I don't know. It's like tradition is now sort of punk rock. Like, I look at like trad wives and I'm like, oh, like, all right. They're like, Starbucks won't even let them be baristas because it's like they're too edgy. It's when you see someone in a wedding dress, like a wedding couple, you're like, oh God, there's something almost like pornographic about it. You're like, oh my God, you're gonna be together forever? Like, God, ugh. You guys don't show us this. This is like too much. Like, what are all these clothes you're wearing? Like, there's something just very just punk about it. So here we are. I don't know. I never thought I'd find happiness. Like, I think everyone is as surprised as I am, because like I was raised by a narcissistic, emotionally immature, alcoholic, delusional monster. As parents, I mean, that's when my parents actually did raise me. They actually sent me to go be raised by their sisters who never had kids. So I don't know. I guess we never thought that I was going to be able to have this. But here we are. But I would like to thank my 12-step program, my Rhodesian Ridgeback Mona, for always barking at guys I brought home that I thought were a good idea because they said they were entrepreneurs and they didn't have a chain wallet, but I was in fact wrong. Thank you for sensing what I was unable to sense because I learned to disassociate at such a young age. Thank you to my best friend, Nikki, who talked me out of dating 2 separate podcasters. I convinced myself were a good idea because he, quote, must be good at communicating because he sits on a couch with a microphone. So he must be an empath. My Spotify recommends that you listen to him if you also listen to Rich Roll, and he gets free Blue Chew. So if that's not the father of my son, I don't know who is. He has a job that won't be replaced by AI. Talking generically about fake problems. AI could never duplicate his art.
What do you think you'll change about your life?
Gosh, as soon as you get married, it's like you start getting homework from people. So when's the wedding? So where are you moving? So you having another kid? It's like, dude, can I just, for 1 second, bite on this engagement ring to try to figure out if it's real or not? I need to figure out if the ring's real.
Maybe this is a clue as to why so many marriages fail, because as soon as people announce that they're getting married, they're under attack from everyone.
Dude, it's wild. As soon as you have a kid, they're like, so when's the next one? I'm like, this one's still wet. And my stitches haven't even dissolved into my body yet, which also, by the way, what? People know the stitches dissolve. I'm like, I would like the kind you pull out, please. What do you mean? Where do they go? Has anyone answered that question? Stitches?
Yeah, your
calling
blood eats them.
I'm calling RFK. Dude, can we look into the dissolvable stitches, please? Wait, so they hold my entire butt and undercarriage tightly together after it has been sawed in half. Somehow is able to hold all that weight and then dissolves. How does it go from that sturdy to that innocuous?
Yeah. What DuPont number is installed in that thread?
Well, no, they don't. Of course
you'll never see it.
How would I know if they didn't or did? Like, what are you talking about? Can anyone just tell the truth, like, truly ever? Okay, but I sent you, Pat. You guys, the process of how I get to talking about what I talk about on this podcast is actually quite unprofessional. I find things and I just send them to Pat. I send a bunch of things to Pat to like see what hits, and some things he just completely ignores. And then he'll send me something back about Neuralink, and I will get like enraged and just be like, I love Neuralink, so just don't you dare. I cannot wait till someone just reads my thoughts and is just like, yeah, don't talk to her. She does not want to be asked about what's next now that she's engaged. Is that it was a list. Okay. So I'm fascinated about this. People are really panicked about what jobs AI is going to take. And a list came out. It was all the jobs that are likely going to be replaced by AI and the ones that are going to likely remain once, AI, replaces us or becomes conscious or whatever, which, by the way, the fear that everyone has that like AI is going to become conscious is so weird to me, because like we're not even conscious. Like anything's more conscious than a human. Like my Roomba's more conscious than a human at this point. Like it's like the consciousness that AI has also will be based on our conscious, right? Because all of their data inputs are going to be from what we've all said, and we're becoming so unconscious every day that AI is just going to be as unconscious or conscious as we are, and we're barely conscious now. People walk down the street on their phones. I watched someone the other day walk into a plant bed through street curb plant bed, like instantly. I like a full-on planter had no idea what was happening. This guy didn't even know where he was. Okay, I've been in Atlanta for 2 weeks, and I'm in this like gated community thing, and I get turned around. I've been here for 2 weeks and I don't know how to find the house I'm in. It's two lefts. And I still, because I'm always on my phone when I go, like we're not even getting like the molecular muscle memory that we used to have. Like you can just like walk home because your peripheral vision sort of indicates where you should be going. We don't have peripheral vision anymore. Like when you would drive, you would have peripheral vision. When you're on your phone, you have such blinders on. Like we might as well just have a bag over our head, like at all times. Am I wrong? Like, look, I don't text and drive anymore. I'm great at it. But, I one time picked up my phone while I was driving and like, then was like, oh, I'm driving. Like, I didn't even realize I was driving. And I didn't even realize I was picking up my phone. Like, we're just in this other echelon of consciousness that I guess there's no word for. I think it might be just called like psychosis, unclear. But people are so unconscious now. They just say things other people said with no regard of whether it's true or false or who the person is. Like we just say drivel at this point. We're just like arrogant parrots that are like, cracker. Like, you're like, you don't know what a cracker is though. Like you're just saying it. Like, okay. So people will just talk and they're like, the left wants criminals from Chile to come in and poison Skittles. And you're like, can you slow down? You just said that as if you read 30 books on it and you're exhausted about talking about it. Like, how did you get this arrogant about something that you have no proof of? And then, someone on the left will just be like, yeah, well, the right wants to go to war with Portland. And you're like, did you just say that? Like, it's not even like, I heard that maybe the right wants to like take some action in Portland. Like you go straight to the way a 5-year-old Russian boy would say it. Like people just say things. Like there used to be sort of a concept of, as you said something, you were like, I'm pretty sure this is true. I read it. You would defend it in some way or like reference an article. Like, yeah, that was, I can't believe I missed the days when people would brag about all the articles they read. And they're like, I just read in the Atlantic that this is happening. And I just read the New York Times. At least you were like pretending to know something that you were just saying. We used to pretend that we had integrity. We don't even pretend anymore. You would have like an inflection that would imply, that like, I'm not a scientist, but, or like, I'm not a poet. You would had some kind of humility. I used to have like that big giant wallet because let's be honest, I spent a lot of time carrying around a lot of ones. Ridge Wallet, when I actually do carry around credit cards, I use Ridge Wallet. Ridge Wallet uses premium materials like aluminum, titanium, carbon fiber. There are 50 colors now. I did not know there were 50 colors in the Spec Wurgy Biv. Like, you can pick something that actually matches your vibe instead of the default dad wallet energy. We all know what that is. Oh, gosh. And this is the last wallet you're going to have to buy. Every Ridge wallet comes with an RFID blocking technology. Oh, I love this to help protect you from digital pickpocketers. For those of you that don't want to befriend and rescue digital pickpocketers, Ridge Wallet is for you. If you're like me and you're constantly displacing things, hey, it's called mom brain 2 years later still. You can also grab the Ridge AirTag attachment so you always know where your wallet is before the panic spiral kicks in. For a limited time, our listeners get 10% off at Ridge using code Whitney at checkout. Just head to ridge.com/Whitney. Use the code Whitney after your purchase. Tell them you heard about Ridge on this show. Good for you, Whitney Cummings. I'm not wearing any makeup. I'm not even going to read this copy. iRestore, they're called Illumina masks. You've seen me post them on my Instagram. It's a red light mask you put on your neck and your face. I do it whenever I am writing and I'm home. It's infrared light, blue light with 360 medical grade LEDs to help target fine lines, breakouts. So that's why I have no zits, sun damage, and inflammation. Without some 19-step skincare situation. Yeah, no thanks. 12 steps only for this guy. That's where I draw the line at 12. And I barely did that 12 step. If you are serious about your neck and chest, which I am, tons of LEDs and design that's still comfortable and wearable with just 10-minute sessions. I do it for like longer than that. 3 to 5 times a week. I do it every day. You can work this into your life without thinking about it. 12-week independent clinical study using the Illumina Face Mask. 94% of users saw an improvement in their skin tone and texture. 92% saw an improvement in overall appearance. iRestore is running huge savings, and you can use code Whitney at iRestore.com for an extra discount on the Illumina Face Mask. That's code Whitney at iRestore.com. The point is, robots being conscious is not my concern. It's humans becoming unconscious that is my major concern, because they're building the robots to live in our homes. That's all this AI stuff, like babysit our kids and like watch us. And it's going to have to be unconscious because it's based on our behavior, right? So the AIs and the robots, they're only going to be as conscious as the data input that it's based on will be. And that data input, Pat, tell me if I'm wrong, it's going to be anyone who has spoken publicly, right? It's going to take TV shows, interviews, like podcast episodes. So it's going to be based on people who sign up to be forward facing. That's going to be what's available, which means it's either going to be super conscious and moral because the people that are forward facing tend to pretend they're way more moral than they are. And they all have to say like they're empaths and stuff. Or it'll be super negative and misanthropic because like AI can't really pick up sarcasm. So it'll just seem like humans are very mean and like really negative. So, right? Or all of our devices are recording at all times and it will be an amalgam of all of us and everything we've ever said and done, in which case we really can't complain if the AI are like rude, like dolts, because it's just all of us in a big soup of AI, right? So, I don't know. The point is that this list was released, okay, of all the jobs, and Pat will put it up. I needed to put up this list because for some reason it looks like it was written like on a typewriter. I don't know why, like released during Prohibition for no reason. Why does it look like it's from like a book of spells? It's like in the woods of Transylvania. Like I don't know why they use ransom note font, but the point is there's a couple of jobs that will not be here very soon. And I do think they're worth talking about. Okay. So one of the jobs that's probably going to go away are translators and interpreters. So, I mean, this is a bummer for me because I love it when the sign language interpreters come up when I do stand-up. It's always, like, so funny, but someone has to request it. I always ask the venue, I'm like, can I request it? They're like, no, that would be, like literal fraud. I'm like, but then I get to watch a show during my show, and it's, like, the best. So anyway, I think that translators, interpreters, this will become less necessary, not only because there's an app to translate. It's more that like the internet has made us so deeply hate anyone who is not exactly like us that no one is interested in anyone who speaks another language or what they have to say. Or translating what an immigrant says like doesn't serve any agendas, you know? Like they want to be able to say like, no, this immigrant abandoned their child. You're like, I don't think that's what happened. Yeah, they know. They just like got to the border and were like, get that baby away from me. I'm like, can I hear what the immigrant is really saying? I don't know. Seems like, well, that one's clutching a child very closely. Oh yeah, no, that one's stealing it. That's kidnapping it. I don't know. We need translators for our own language at this point. Like, I will hear one of my own friends talking about a breakup, and I have no clue what she's saying. Like, I'm like, can someone translate? She'll be like, he gaslit me and his love language is dismissive, avoidant. And I'm a Sagittarius moon. And I was told by Jay Shetty to look at my inner cosmos. So now I'm looking for a new partner on Lemonade. I'm like, can someone translate what she just said? Because I am truly baffled. Okay, can someone translate what my friend in Illinois just said to me? Because I'm very close to submitting paperwork to put her in a conservatorship. Like, I think we're having enough trouble communicating in the same language, okay? We have to translate ourselves now when we talk. Because companies, they only stay companies for like a year. Isn't this like wild, Pat? Like when you're talking, you can't even say a sentence without having to mention like a merger or like a legal corporate nightmare. I'll be like, so in my last Instagram post, Meta. So I just saw this thing on Twitter, X. It's like, we have to subtitle what we're saying at all times. I'm like, yeah, it's this show on Paramount Plus, which is also, I think, you can get it via DirecTV and you can stream it on Fubo, and then in a week it's on Hulu. But yeah, it's Paramount Plus. Like, we can't even communicate in our own language to each other. Another one that I thought was kind of fascinating was historians. So historian, I guess, is going to be an obsolete job pretty soon because of AI, according to this list. Were historians ever real? Listen, you're a historian. What does that even mean? Like, you're an expert on the gossip of you're an expert on the game of telephone, but you're an expert on what white people said very defensively. Like, no, Texas was founded because the natives surrendered the land willingly and gladly. Okay? It's like, okay, why are you mad at me? What kind of person is like, I'm a historian. I am the keeper of the history. I'm the authority I study the past. Like, imagine dating a historian. Like, what a nightmare. Like, they're supposed to be like so smart and like we put them on a pedestal, but it's like, imagine dating one. He's like, yeah, well, 5 years ago when you said you weren't friends with your ex, and you're like, oh my God, you're just like obsessed with the past. Like, that's your thing. Like, also, the AI of historians will be based on what human historians discovered or deduced before them. So it's going to be just as accurate or inaccurate as an actual flawed human, right? And the AI is going to be imperfect because it could be meddled with, it could be hacked, right, by whoever's running it or whoever's good enough to be able to hack it, whatever dork. But historians, like, they've always been biased and influenced by whatever university they were at or whatever access they had. Like, there was like a historian on the Civil War who didn't go to Gettysburg because his ex-wife like loved Gettysburg. Yeah, like that's how humans work, right? Like, there's more to learn about what's going on at Gettysburg. Like, there was a new like bullet pocket found. That's like a bunch of new bullets or something were found by like a YouTuber using a metal detector or whatever. And the historian was like, I think I know, I got it. It's like, no, but there's new bullets. Mr. Beast found all these bow and arrows. Like, no. I think I would know. It's like, that happens, right? Humans, we get hacked by our emotions and resentments and our need to impress people and our insecurities, whereas AI is going to get hacked by humans who are getting hacked by their emotions, resentments, and need to impress. So it's like, it's going to be a whole rat king that kind of comes clean in the wash. But it does make me wonder, like, what makes you a historian? Where do you get off? Like, you see how now, like, people will do podcasts where they do 10 hours on the Civil War, and they're not a historian per se. And that's their whole thing. They'll be like, I'm not a historian. And it's like, well, you just did 10 hours on something, and you've read every history book by a famous historian. So if you're a historian and I read all your books, doesn't that make me a historian or no? Like, I know everything you know. If you give me the recipe to a meal and I make it, am I a gourmet chef now? most historians don't read the things that they don't deem historian approved. So I feel like a lot of them have active blind spots. Like anyone who uses their critical thinking would actually have more insight than someone who's basing everything on what was already written by people that there was a lot of scurvy back then. I wouldn't trust everybody's account of what went down back when hookworm was afoot. Historians are responsible for the textbooks we saw in school. And there was not a lot of critical thinking around like the illustrations, for example. It was like, okay, Christopher Columbus discovered America. Historians told us that. And then this always cracks me up. The picture was the pilgrims in their swashbuckler shoes and their top hat and their jacket, their buckles. Okay. And then the Native Americans were just in like a loincloth. Like anyone who was using their brain would go, this doesn't look like the same temperature. And I feel like the blankets the colonizers were giving them, they wouldn't be wrapped in a bow. They'd be giving them the blankets with a very long stick. They're not just handing them over. Okay, another one that's kind of similar is writers and authors, which the printing press kind of did this. Like, I am fascinated by how many things we're terrified of now that, past generations have been terrified of. It just looked kind of different, like as soon as the printing press came along, it did affect writing. Like, I don't think it's going to replace writing. I think it's going to dramatically affect writing in a way that actually makes human written stuff even more valuable. The fact that it took so long to handwrite things, part of the reason writing was so good, because most of them just made their wives do it for them, right? And then, so it was more emotional and thoughtful. And then they had the printing press. And then it started getting sort of more, quick and more terse. AI is going to replace authors. Like, okay, there's a lot of human authors that maybe should be replaced. Okay. Neil Gaiman comes to mind. Wouldn't mind if AI wrote whatever he thought he was writing. The guy that wrote Winnie the Pooh, I feel like AI would have put pants on the bear, at least. Whoever wrote Anne of Green Gables, had that been AI, they would have been like, oh, a brother and sister who adopts a teenage girl? No. I went to Prince Edward Island to perform, and it's the home of Anne of Green Gables. I was like, why do I feel like I thought this was like grandparents and their granddaughter? This is a brother and sister who just adopted a hot redhead to work around the house. Anywho, I think that no one knows because no one's read it. So everyone pretends they've read it. Here's the catch, is when you pretend you read a book you didn't, then later someone's like, wait, that's what that was about? And you're like, what? And they're like, you weirdo, you love that book? And I'm like, no, I didn't read it. I swear I didn't just love a book about a brother and sister who adopted a teenager or kidnapped her. Who knows? I got to read the Cliff Notes a little more carefully next time. But here's the thing about AI, all right? So whether or not the book is good depends on what data they're putting in, right? So if most novels are bad, which means most AI novels will be bad, right? Because that's what it's based on, all right? And whether or not they're good or not depends on what data set it's given. So if they put all the good novels in to the AI, that's not going to make a good novel either. I think putting all the bad novels in has a chance of making a good novel, because at least it'll be like weird. But mixing a ton of original novels, like let's only put the good ones in so that the AI makes good novels, that's going to be a mess. So like bad ingredients mixed together for food always works, right? Always. Like if you go like butter, hamburger, the more butter and bad ingredients and bacon and sausage and cheese you put together, delicious, right? Bad ingredients make something delicious, but a bunch of good ingredients doesn't make something delicious because they're all too specific and unique. Like steak, tart cherry salad, yams with marshmallows. If you mix that together, it's nuts because they're all too unique, right? So putting a bunch of good writing into AI, into that brain, it's not going to make good AI writing. It's probably going to be worse than humans' bad writing because it's trying to mix too many specific tones. It's just going to sound like a Jamiroquai song or something. Like it's just going to be like just wingdings, like a nightmare. So I'm actually not too worried about that. I feel like AI, honestly, is only going to replace bad writing and will make good writing even more valuable, right? I Another one, which by the way, this is actually shocking that they've included this because I actually think this is the wrongest one on this list. Ticket agents and travel clerks. They've been trying to replace these people for, I mean, truly as long as I've been flying. All right. With computers and palm readers and eye scanners and self-checkout baggage sticker gumball machines. And honestly, it's so amazing. Like, you would be shocked at how many humans are required to get one piece of luggage onto a moving belt at the airport. Like, every time I go to the airport, they're like, we got this. We got a machine that's going to do this. They're just here to scan it, put it on the thing, done. Every time I go to the airport, there's a new like Hewlett Packard Blade Runner contraption. Like, Elizabeth Holmes made a new Theranos for bags. And I go to the airport, there's truly 6 people trying to get one little tablet to function, you know? And they're like, you can see it in their eyes. They're like, this is the thing they sent to replace me? Like, that thing's supposed to scan people's digital boarding pass? Yet no one can hold their phone up to digitally scan it because it has to turn. When you hold up a thing, it turns. The photo turns and gets it horizontal, and you have to turn the arrow to make it go. Anytime someone tries to show you a YouTube video, it's like, boom, and they're like, well, you got to turn it. And they try to turn it. It's like, well, your turn thing isn't on. And that's, it's like nowhere in the instructions is it have your turning. What's the thing I'm talking about, Pat? What's it called?
The rotate image.
Have rotate image on. No, it's not it's like no guns, no brass knuckles, no nunchucks. Like it. So airports just keep trying to build machines to replace humans at the airport, but it's never going to work until AI builds the machines. Because right now humans are building the machines, and clearly the people building the machines fly private. That's the problem with all these Silicon Valley billionaire dorks that are making all this stuff, because they don't fly public. They have no idea how any of this operates. Like, any person who's flown public would be more qualified to make one of these machines than anyone in Silicon Valley, because they have no clue what they're even trying to solve. It's exactly like Liz Holmes when she was making the Theranos machines. She's like, yeah, you know how everyone just wants a blood printer on their coffee table in their apartment. You know how like what? It's like Elon Musk making Tesla's fart. It's like, yeah, you know how like everyone thinks it's funny for your car to fart and put on light shows. We're like, no, I don't. No one likes that. No, you know how like every adult thinks life's just a complete joke? Like, no one wants their car to be a light show. It has a light show. No, they don't. They want their cars to get them to their job while their job still exists for another couple weeks. And maybe if you're going to have your car do something, what about it like dispenses food or like clean water? Like, what about that? Or like, I don't know. It's like, no, most people want their cars to not like project bright lights and laser beams, because we need to be able to sprint from the ER to try to run out on a $5,000 bill from needing to get a tooth extracted, because dental has never been covered by any insurance. So I need to be able to get to my car with no light show. I want the nurse chasing me to not know what car I'm trying to get away in. You can't make a smart machine for the airport because the airport's too dumb. Robots run on efficiency, and there's nothing efficient about the airport. So AI would just think it was a construction site. They just like, this is dangerous. Like, everyone needs to get out of here. They'd be like, no, why would I check bags into this junkyard next to the mental health facility? Okay, well, there's too many people crying that we just need to shut everything down. They're like, we need to administer meds to these people. Okay, they're supposed to be sleeping, and they're getting on big machines. Like, I don't think the AI would even know where to start. So it's like, none of these are going to be replaced until they're functioning well enough for an AI to even recognize them as something that's efficiently functioning. Like, that's the thing about, is there going to be an AI president? Well, the government would have to function first in a way that an AI could figure out how to make it keep working.
The Minister of State in Albania is AI.
Is this recent?
Yeah, this is like a few months ago, named Diela.
How's it going?
And I don't know. Well, one of the first decisions that it made was to create a cabinet and replace much of the cabinet with AI agents. They're the only country that's actually doing the experiment that that you're talking about, Albania. I'll keep an eye on it.
I
We
can't,
should maybe
you know
cover
what?
that one.
There's a couple things I want to say, but I'm going to bite my tongue until I learn more about Albania. I'm not going to have an Oxnard situation with Albania. But I'm going to look into that, Pat. And I have a lot to say on that. And I think actually the most cruel thing you can do on a podcast is just go, hey, Albania is a government AI. Anyway, next up, without any context or letting people know. So you guys Google it. Just have that be your algorithm. All Albania algo. I'm going to try to keep mine Lily Allen for now, thanks. Holiday shopping season is officially here, and Uncommon Goods takes the stress out of gifting with thousands of unique, high-quality finds you will not see anywhere else. I am finding stuff on this website that I've truly never seen before. It's independent artists. It'll give you a person. I could read their copy, but this is like where I shine. Is gifting something unique that nobody else has. Like, I'm the one who just got my cousin a bracelet from the 50s that was like a tag, tag bracelets with my uncle's name on it. Like, it had her birthday on it in the back, engraved. Found it. Uncommon Goods has something for everyone. Gardeners, book lovers, foodies. When you shop at Uncommon Goods, you're supporting artists and small independent businesses, and a lot of their products are made in small batches. So when it's gone, it's gone. And with every purchase, they put back $1 to a nonprofit partner of your choice. Cross off the names on your Christmas list before you have to rush at the buzzer. To get 15% off your next gift, go to uncommongoods.com/Whitney. That's uncommongoods.com/Whitney for 15% off. Uncommon Goods. We're all out of the ordinary. This website is seriously awesome, by the way. Seriously dope. This segment is sponsored by Home Chef. Between school nights, holiday chaos, and pretending to be a functional adult, the last thing I want to stress about is what's for dinner. Home Chef has completely fixed that for me, for my child. Fresh ingredients, they show up at my door. They're pre-portioned with recipes that do not require a culinary degree, but they make me look like I actually have one. Home Chef is rated #1 by users, and they have teamed up with Gordon Ramsay. Gordon Ramsay. Is that French? Gordo Ramso to bring his 5-star stress-free recipes straight to your kitchen. You can choose from one of his co-branded dishes across Home Chef's culinary collection, classic meal kits, and express options, so you get that chefy moment without the meltdown. Microwave options. There's also a family menu. If you actually have a schedule, it's there's 30 meal options you can choose from. It's actually amazing. They sent meatballs recently, and my kid was it's kept us out of therapy, frankly. Going at this age, I mean, I would win, to be clear, but not quite ready. Let's hold off a couple months. Home Chef customers save an average of $86 per month on groceries. For a limited time, Home Chef is offering my listeners 50% off and free shipping for your first box plus free dessert for life. Go to homechef.com/Whitney. That's homechef.com/Whitney for 50% off your first box and free dessert for life. Homechef.com/Whitney. Must be an active subscriber to receive free dessert. Another thing that might be replaced is just as important as presidents, radio DJs. Radio DJs. I mean, it's just, I don't know, dude. There's certain things where you're kind of like, Godspeed. I don't know. Like radio DJs, what does that even mean? Is that the only thing worse than a human saying hey, welcome to Sticky and the Worm in the morning. Hey, it's Blowhard and Beaver. Welcome. Coming at you live from Tampa. Sheila B isn't in today. Hopefully she's getting her boobs fixed. Waco Jocko sitting in here this morning, and it's time to rank the hottest blonde senators. Let's go. You're like, what? It's 8 a.m., guys. I don't know. I do feel like if AI replaces radio, they're just going to be the AI version of that, which would be more comforting. Like, oh God, thank God a computer thought of this and not a human. Like, I'd at least like to pretend that no human being would think that that's a good idea to say at 7:30 in the morning. This is why AI is going to be so apocalyptic. And it's not because they're going to replace us. It's because it's going to hold up a mirror to us. We're going to look at AI behavior and go, oh my God, that seemed normal to us before we saw it in the mirror as AI. We're going to think that AI is mocking us but it's just reflecting us. Like, that's what a good impression does, right? It makes you realize how ridiculous something is because when someone does something crazy, they don't think it's crazy. So you kind of accept it and you get desensitized to it. But when someone else acts like the person that's crazy and is sort of that's when you're like, oh, when someone else does it, it makes me realize how wild it is. It was like when Tina Fey did Sarah Palin. It was like, whoa, like you had gotten so used to Sarah Palin doing it shamelessly that you didn't realize how weird it was until someone normal did it. And that's what AI is going to do, you know, and all of these things. But it's also, I think, making us realize like how egomaniacal a lot of these jobs were. Political scientists, I guess, is maybe going to be phased out. What are you even talking about? And any situation when someone's talking about politics now, they're already a robot. They're just like, Hillary, good, Palin, bad, Biden, alive. Like they don't, no, people aren't even using critical thinking around politics anyway. And like the thing that is supposed to differentiate humans and robots is the ability to think critically. Political scientists, they survey public opinion. How, what? Like how? Like this is, that people walking by on the street? First of all, I've never been asked for my opinion on anything by any scientist, like out in the world. Have you? Like, I've never seen anyone on TV either get public opinion correct. Truly not once. This is why people find comedians like refreshing because we're in a different state every weekend and we meet so many people. And we're like, none of the people are like, and America is upset about what? And then, trans swimmers? No, they're not. No, they're not. I go to a different state every weekend. It never comes up. No one's like, well, is that a trans swimming? Like, no one thinks of it. No one's bringing it up. No one's talking about it. Like, I don't know where you're getting your data, but like, this must just be your algorithm, dude. This is your porn searches or something. Trans swimmers is not on the top of everybody's mind. So, and so wild to me that like political scientists, historians, like, okay, I just hear like gatekeepers more than anything, you know? And it's been like that with journalism too. And journalism is on this list. Journalists and mathematicians. Journalists, like, which by the way, journalist is so funny. Like, did we ever have journalists? Was that ever a real thing? Like, first of all, I wanted to be a journalist. I went to Annenberg School of Communications for journalism. Like, I wanted to be a journalist. And I got in there and I was like, oh, this is fake. This is like a superiority complex gone like rampant. These are like people that want everyone to agree with them and are going to go to school to get some kind of degree making people listen to them. It's like, it's thought police under the guise of like, I'm creative or something, or I'm trying to get to the honest truth. But it's not that. Like journalists have become just smear campaign people. It's mean girls. It's a lot of mean girls who try and humiliate people under the guise of objective journalism. Like journalists would like go into celebrities' homes for a couple days or spend time with them and then do a piece about what it's like to be with them. Like, which is so wild when you think about it. It's like my take is the take. And first of all, every journalist who has ever followed me around have spent days and days with me, and they're always start with some like, yeah, like, you know, they really think I should cover you. And like, okay, hi. First of all, hi. One guy started with, I've never heard of you, but my wife likes you. So, you know, like, cool. I remember being like, should we cancel? So it's like, okay, this is a person who doesn't like me already and is coming in to sort of give me what I deserve or something. And because they don't like me, they're going to be unbiased and it's not going to be like a love letter. Like journalists think in order to be unbiased or to seem objective that they have to just straight up be mean. And that's the new vibe. And it's essentially professional bullies. It's like trolls. It's people that went to college for trolling. They're like, I want to be so good at trolling. I want to be a troll artist. Frankly, journalists, art critics, movie critics, they call it criticism now. It's like get around the fact that it's just straight up bullying. Like there was a time where journalists, you know, would at least pretend to have like a modicum of respect or a fair approach. But in a lot of ways, it does feel like the revenge of the nerds, you know? But now the revenge of the nerds that are the journalists are coming after other nerds. They're coming after comedians now. right? So comedians, our success is Revenge of the Nerds. And you guys are Revenge of the Nerds. Like nerds don't come after nerds. Like, what are you doing? Like, why write a hit piece at all? Just, why not just ignore them if you don't like them? The idea that you have to like go out of your way. I prefer some incel on Reddit being like, yeah, she has small tits. Like, I actually prefer that to a 3-page critique of me. And yes, I'm talking about something specific. And I haven't really brought it up. And because it felt like, okay, this is journalists. This is what they do. It's criticism. Like, I'm in the public eye. Like, I'm going to be criticized. But then I'm finding the same journalists that were such bullies to comedians and actors and artists and stuff are now trying to come after the people in the comments sections, the trolls. It's like, no, but that's you. But you're a troll. That's what you are. You went to school for it. These people just do it as their side hustle, like, so these journalists that write these like well thought out pieces about how much they hate somebody. It's like, why do you get to work for the New Yorker? Like, every journalist that I have had like do an interview with me or something, it was like, okay, there was a guy named Andrew Goldman. I'm not exaggerating. He was fired from the New York Times because of the questions he asked me. I was 27 years old. Like, I didn't know anything. I didn't realize how bad they were, He was like, did you sleep your way to the top? Like, that was a question he asked me when I was 27 years old. And I guess I assumed he was joking. Like, and I was so excited that he thought I was on top. I was like, am I on top? Like, is this the top? Like, what? Like, I was just so grateful to be there that I didn't notice. And then Jennifer Weiner, an author, started tweeting about it. Like, this is disgusting. Like, to ask me if I slept my way to the top, like, meet my boyfriend. Like, what? You know what? Just do your research. I thought you were a journalist. If you had done your research, you wouldn't have to ask me if I slept my way to the top. You would see that I'm only into broke dudes. All right? I couldn't sleep my way to the top even if it worked, right? Because I'm not attracted to powerful men. I like a rescue dog. That's my thing, all right? At the time, I was truly dating someone like homeless when he did this interview. You do your research on who I've dated. If I've slept my way to the top, just go do that research. Go find it. Why are you asking me at 6 a.m. on an interview that you opened with, like, I don't get it, but my wife loves you. Like, can I talk to her? She seems cool. And then I had forgotten about this piece that Emily Nussbaum, she's a TV critic. She signed up to criticize TV for a living. The thing that just brings us all joy. The thing that's like a bunch of broken people that weren't loved as children, want to put on plays to feel less alone and seen. We all agree that comedians and artists had some kind of trauma as kids. We're like sad clowns, like, oh, something awful must have happened to them. And then when we like try to make people laugh, everyone's like, I'm going to critique you and put you in your place. It's like, we hate ourselves. What are you doing? So she wrote a piece that was so sadistic and so, I'm just going to say mean is the best way to put it, under the guise of intellectual. So a lot of journalists use this, degree, which is supposed to symbolize a loyalty to veracity, and they have a florid vocabulary. So somehow the hatred is gilded in this kind of, passion for literature. So it's not just trolling, right? Because I'm getting paid to do it, but chances are if she didn't get paid to do it, she would just be tweeting nasty stuff anyway. So I actually, again, have more respect for the person that just does it on their own time. But so she criticizes television because TV, we need to really hold it accountable. It does cure cancer. And frankly, most of it should be in the Louvre. Right. Which, by the way, I think the most valuable piece of art in the Louvre at this point is the Post-it note that shows that the security password for the Louvre is just Louvre. The password to an art museum with priceless art being the name of the art museum as a security password, I mean, truly is the most priceless art fathomable. If you just took a photo of the password, it could be the only exhibit in the Louvre. So this journalist, this is the kind of stuff we're worried is going to be replaced by AI. Like, not that worried. She wrote a piece on me. I had 2 TV shows come out in the same year. I was probably 27, 28 when they started airing, but 27 when I sold them. I had a lot of feedback coming at me. Girls came out the same year. New Girl, a bunch of like funny girl shows came out. So this is the journalism that we've been cool with. She writes, Cummings has attracted a lot of vitriol online, in part because she fits into another subset of female comedians. She's this year's sexy girl hate magnet. Well, you're the one that hates me, though. And you writing this piece for The New Yorker is now making it acceptable for other people to hate me. So you hating me is kind of the thing, okay? Then she just moves on to randomly trashing other funny girls. She says, Olivia Munn filled that role last year, and Chelsea Handler before her, and Silverman before her. These performers diverge widely. I adore Silverman and can take or leave Munn. Handler bugs me, but they share some traits. She bugs me? Bugs me. That's it. That's all that's journalism. Is that critique? Is that criticism? Doesn't criticism entail some kind of explanation or an elegant thesis of why you dislike someone? Saying someone bugs me, I can't even get away with saying that. I actually would feel too guilty even saying that in a casual conversation because it's so sloppy without any kind of, it bugs me. She bugs you? Like, I don't even know what you're saying. It is the sloppiest jab I can truly think of. So basically you're just saying like a successful, funny woman just like bugs me. I don't know. I don't have time to get into it because I still have to write 3 more pages about how much I hate Whitney Cummings. But like Chelsea Handler bugs me. Just delete that sentence. Just don't bring her into it then. She bugs me. Is that criticism? Is that journalism? That's a wild thing to say about a very successful woman. But anyway, dude, journalist. Like, I also think that she like put in there to be like cute too. It's like she bugs me, but like, you know how eloquent I normally am. And like, if someone bugs me, like, need I say more? The entitlement of just saying someone bugs you with no, Olivia Munn, I could take her or leave her. Excuse me? Brett Ratner? Why do you talk like a bro that's like trying to sleep with these women? Is that what I could take her or leave her? Then don't include her in this. What about don't involve? Why bring her name into it? This isn't even a critique. This is just misogynistic musings. This also, are you in a rush? Like, you know what, Emily Nussbaum, why don't you just like, I know you're about to write 3 pages on how much you hate me, but like maybe just like out of like, have a modicum of respect for these other women that you just randomly just like slapped in the face with. Honestly, I gotta say, like the fact that she at least took 3 pages to insult me was like a little more respectful than being like, I could take her or leave her. She bugs me. I think that's weirdly worse. So I don't know. This is what I expect from internet trolls way more than someone who like tries to make their hate seem like some kind of enlightened poetry. So anyway, I love Olivia and I love Chelsea. And Emily, you bug me. So she goes on to say they've got dirty mouths and model skinny looks. They get accused of sleeping their way to the top. By who? By who? You? By you. That. So there's no footnote. There's no quote. I can actually give you your quote, which is you could have at least said Andrew Goldman, who did imply that. Just put that. Just put some proof in here somewhere. Because then it's just you. Right? Isn't the whole point of journalism is that there's proof attached? This person's done some research. Like sources or quotes. Like critics basically just get to be like Reddit incels that just get to say like instead of saying you slept your way to the top, they get to go, she gets accused of sleeping her way to the top. By who? By Reddit? Who? Why even include that? Why are you even down there, sweetheart? Nowhere in this. She didn't call me. She didn't ask me. She didn't ask around. She didn't call my boyfriend who I had at the time, who I'd been with for 3.5 years. Nowhere did she say, Whitney is actually a serial monogamist who stays with guys truly years longer than she should because she's codependent and frankly was so broke she couldn't leave anyone. She had no place to live. But she gets accused of being, at least do that. At least tell the truth and say, but this is what she's accused of maybe? I don't know. She writes, with varying degrees of satirical intent, they play the card instead of the quirky card. Okay. I play the card. Like, what do you, in my TV show, I'm in a relationship for 4 years with the guy I'm with. So is that slutty to be with someone every 4 years? So I just don't understand if something was bad journalism, you got to just call it critique. I'm a critic. I'm not going to do research. I'm not going to make this accurate. So it's called criticism. Actually, it's not journalism per se, because then this journalist, in addition, this critic, in addition to trashing me, she goes on for pages and pages about how much she hates me. And then she does drop a quote. She did do some research at the end. She wrote on Twitter, a sitcom observer pointed out that the version of Whitney on Two Broke Girls would hate the version of Whitney on Whitney. And then she wrote, and that's accurate. I believe they mean Max on Two Broke Girls would hate Whitney on Whitney. And then Emily Nussbaum, the journalist critic, says that's accurate. I feel like, as someone who wrote both characters, I would know, and that's actually not accurate. You're wrong. That's not true. Max from Two Broke Girls would love Whitney from Whitney because Max hates haters. Okay? Max would not like a female journalist who calls herself a critic tearing down a female comic the first year she ever made anything. And that's what she ends the piece with. She ends the piece with a quote from a Twitter troll and then agrees with the Twitter troll. Oh, wait, no. And if some folks get mad at Cummings for taking up 2 slots, that's not an unreasonable response. Yeah, it is, though. That's an incredibly unreasonable, first of all, no one's mad. No one's mad. No one's like, Whitney Cummings has 2 slots. No one knows what you're saying. Who is this for? Who's this article for? No, first of all, it is absolutely unreasonable to be mad at a comedian if she made 2 shows that the network tested and tested the highest, which is why they got put on the air. They tested the best. They don't put on something that doesn't test well. They're the best ones that year. And yes, it is completely unreasonable to be mad at a 27-year-old girl who's winning in a male-dominated business. I truly can't think of anything more unreasonable than someone being mad at a woman for making television. I bring this up because there's a lot of journalism you can't debunk because I'm like, well, I wasn't there. How would I know? I'm bringing this one up because I am the person who can actually debunk what she's saying is unequivocally true. Okay, she says that's accurate, something that's completely inaccurate. This is truly just lie after lie is what this is. But it's criticism, so it's fine. I guess you're allowed to lie as long as you hate the person. As long as you're critical of them, the facts are not important whatsoever. So look, I'm the first in line to help defend journalism against AI, but I don't think anyone's going to miss this type of thing. I don't think society's going to fall apart if we don't have more female journalists tearing down female comedians for truly no apparent reason. I think we'll survive as a species if there's less misogynistic, elitist critiques. In 2016, she did win the Pulitzer Prize for criticism. So, sick, dude. Sick. You are the best hater we could find. You are the most critical person.
That's the kind of validation a person like that needs.
By the way, but they all band together. So then at NPR, this woman, Linda Holmes, wrote a piece about the piece. I mean, people were writing pieces about this piece. It was so brutal. But all the ones that wanted to get in her good graces because she's kind of this queen of criticism. She wrote, Linda Holmes at NPR wrote, if you only read one piece of cultural criticism today that you don't find at NPR, make it this terrific column by Emily Nussbaum in The New Yorker. It's Emily's debut as their TV critic and explains better than I have why Whitney Cummings is, As Emily quite brilliantly puts it in the first sentence, the year's most unnerving success. First of all, this person's admitting that she's not that good at explains it. I can't explain things well, so read this person. Can you imagine NPR being like, what are you doing? Can you pretend like you're good at this? Imagine writing for the New York Times, like, hey, I don't really know how to explain this. We should read the Chicago Tribune article about it. It's like very good. Like, it's a terrific column. You guys, it's like terrific how she says that Chelsea Handler bugs her and that she could take or leave Olivia Munn. And she says that a Twitter troll is accurate. Brilliantly puts it, the year's most unnerving success. So these journalists, they band together. They're these critics, these people that have never taken a risk in their life. They've never done stand-up comedy. They've never made anyone laugh. They've never made a TV show. They wouldn't even attend TV tapings. When I was like, do you want to come to a show? And you can see that it's a live studio audience. They wouldn't even come. They've never made a movie. And they think I'm unnerving. I don't know what AI is going to do, but I do think that AI is not going to trash a 28-year-old girl living her dream or find it unnerving. I just don't know what we're going to do without all these critics, you know, who went to NYU and Dartmouth and Oberlin to study feminism only to spend their career hunting down and trashing other women by using Twitter trolls as sources. Like, what would we do if these women didn't band together to say female comedians are unnerving and tell each other how brilliant each other are, to then set the stage that it's perfectly okay to trash that female comedian for truly years after that? By the way, this was in 2011. I was the most unnerving thing about 2011. That was also the year that Anthony Weiner posted his dong on Twitter by accident. It's when Charlie Sheen had his meltdown, remember, and was like, tiger blood, but I was the unnerving person on TV. Got it. Cool. Herman Cain had to withdraw from his Republican presidential campaign because of sexual harassment, but I'm unnerving. The real problem is Whitney Cummings, not all these people in power. Journalists, they create an environment where trashing women publicly is okay because they went to school for it. Since AI is coming along, I just don't know how we are going to destroy the self-esteem of the next generation of female creatives without critics. You know what else might go away, Pat? Geographers.
Geographers or geographers?
Geographers, listen to me. Geographers, is that... Our maps have maps ever been right? I'm not trying to be like, how could a map have been right? Like, I'm not even mad. Like, even if a cartographer like is like, hey, it's like 70% there, I'd be like, dude, that's amazing. That's actually, if someone was like, I think I got it, it might be off like 100 or 200 miles. I'd be like, that's incredible. That's like the idea that anyone could actually compile how big a continent is for real is that's my pyramids. Like, people are like, who built the pyramids? I'm like, who figured out the size of Italy? Because I can't, there's no way. It's a rough estimate. Isn't it all a rough estimate? It's got to be, right? Until a satellite does it. That's when we actually found stuff. That's when we found out that Africa was way smaller on a map than it actually was, right? Like, they were trying to make it seem like it was way smaller than it was. They call it the Mercator projection. Russia appears larger than Africa on maps because of the Mercator projection, which distorts land masses farther from the equator. This projection stretches areas at high latitudes, making countries like Russia look much larger than they are, while Africa's size is less exaggerated because it is mostly located near the equator. This sounds like someone that did something really racist trying to like explain why it wasn't true, whatever they did. In reality, Africa is about 78% larger than Russia, which is the largest country by area. This feels like a statement that someone was scrambling to make. I do feel like I would not be surprised if we got more satellites in space and we found out that New Jersey was like the same size as Africa. Like, the number of people I meet from New Jersey doesn't fit how big New Jersey is on a map.
Their major export is people from New Jersey.
But then and then Texas, like, I don't buy it. I drive across Texas. It's like 3 hours. I'm like, I don't think. Like, I feel like New Jersey needs Texas's publicists. Like, it just doesn't it never adds up to me, you know? But if you want to just placebo the maps, that's fine. Come on in. Okay, I have so much more to talk about. I'll have to do it next episode about some jobs that are less impacted by AI, so you'll know what to send your children to school for. Because right now, mine's just going to school for Bluey. That's pretty much the only education we're working on over here. It's just a nightmare. And he's Australian. Is my kid gonna have an Australian accent? This is like, honestly, I can't, that would be the worst thing you could do to me. You know about me in that accent. I can't, I don't, it's not, when I meet an Australian person, I'm like, can you just turn it down like 10 volts?
You're like, you know what you're doing.
Yeah, it's not like, is everything a joke to you? Like the Australian accent is like, can we just, some of us have jobs. Okay. Some of us aren't like cowabunga. It's just so like, I don't know. It just seems a little ridiculous to me. It's also you descend from criminals and now you're just like, like, it's just like, be serious. Can anyone just be, it's a level of unserious that feels disrespectful is all. Okay. I love you guys. Next week, I'm going to talk more about this and anything else that you DM me that you want me to talk about or put in the comments, because I just asked on the main feed to make sure that I'm on the right track. I love you guys. Don't ride elephants. Goodbye.